Yes, sir. Here we are. TD report.
Hey, y'all know about them Hokies, baby.
Show number 6.
Y'all know about them Hokies, baby. Talk to me.
I know Mr. Tony is real excited today. His Hokies took care of business over the hated Virginia Cavaliers. My Cavalier was 98.
It's been a long time, folks, since they won in Blacksburg. I told y'all what was going to happen. These are the people. Those my boys. Yeah, we got a good show today.
We are going to get Sean Moore from UVA back on the show to rebut. But tonight, on the TD report, we are going to have Logan Thomas of the Washington Redskins, former Hokie quarterback.
Hey, emergency quarterback now.
Emergency quarterback. You never know. They might run what they used to call the wild Hokie. Put the big quarterback back there and
you never know.
Run the RPOs. They ran that pretty well in college for him. But we are real excited to get Logan on the show. Logan is going to probably call in the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Yes.
So what we want to do, let's take care of business. Let's get this Monday recap from Sunday's games here, Tony. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to go rapid fire. Big happenings in the NFC East. Eagles upset the Saints behind Jalen Hurts' first start. They won 24-21. Another key to that game, aside from Jalen Hurts starting, Miles Sanders for the Eagles. 14 totes, 115 yards, and 2 scores. Tony, what happened to the Saints?
Man, listen. The Bennett report was right. He said, watch out for Jalen Hurts.
You're right, Cody was right.
Hey, folks, y'all listen up. That guy Hurts, that's a man of God. He always perseveres. And I love that guy. I was wrong about him years ago when I said he could never play quarterback in the pros. That man right there is one of the best young men you can ever be around.
He has got a lot of character.
He's got a lot of character.
And you know what? What's interesting, a lot of people talk about quarterback being a leadership position, a CEO of a team position. It's about character, and that kid has it. Let's go to the next game in the NFC East. Cardinals waxed the G-Men at their place, 26-7. That was a dirt nap by the G-Men.
Again, folks, I was wrong on that one. I thought the G-Men would do it.
I told y'all Kyler Murray was going to get loose on that field.
But they're not ready. They're not ready. That was a heck of a job by them. I'm going to give it to them. Them boys look good. G-Men, you ain't ready.
Big note of the game, not just Kyler Murray.
Boss man, your boys are terrible.
Hassan Reddick of the Cardinals recorded 5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. He did everything but play tuba.
Yes, he did.
He did everything but play tuba.
Yes, he did.
The only defensive guy that had a better week was Chase.
Yes.
I mean, but if you hit the quarterback 5 times and you can get 3 forced fumbles, you filling up the stat sheet on defense.
You filling it up.
Our national tragedy is over. The Cowboys have finally won a game again, 30-7 over the equally hapless Bungles. Dallas moves to 4-9, and they better start tanking for real this time.
Hey, they beat a terrible team. They beat Bladensburg. They beat my high school. Don't give Dallas no credit today.
I think they beat Duval's.
They don't get no credit today.
I think they beat Duval's JV.
They beat some JV folks.
They beat some JV folks, man.
Out there yesterday. Ain't gonna go get all hype. Y'all Cowboy fans, y'all know better than that. They terrible.
Let's talk about this Buffalo-Pittsburgh game. Buffalo moves to 10-3 in style, tagging the Steelers with their second loss consecutive, 26-15. Good counsel and former Terps star Stephon Diggs, 10 grabs, 130 yards, and a touchdown. You might want to guard Stephon Diggs, folks.
He's leading the NFL in receptions. Diggy, you the man. Good counsel. Stand up, baby.
We ain't mad at you. WCA say love for you, baby.
Hey, that man can play.
What is going on with the Steelers?
They can't run the ball. Big Ben, you done. If if y'all don't get a running game, y'all gonna be home first round. And all you Steelers fans that talk that trash, you're gonna be home with us, with the boys.
Now, we are going to talk more about it later in the show. When we get Logan on, we're going to talk about the big win, but it has to be mentioned because WFT with a big road win against San Francisco. Chase Young absolutely goes bananas.
Did I not call that game?
6 tackles, 1 sack, 2 for a loss, a touchdown, 2 passes defended, and a partridge in a pear tree.
That's indeed. Hey, Chase, shout out to the DMV, baby.
DeMatha High School, we ain't mad at you, bro. We see you.
Everything they thought Clowney was going to be.
He went
You
bananas.
are the man out there. You leading that defense, dog. Hey, once you keep getting some help on that offensive side, y'all going to be tough out.
Buddy, that was amazing. Two defensive touchdowns for the WFT. Alex Smith leaves with a little bit of an injury. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But the bottom line is WFT get the W, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I want to go back to this Eagles-Saints thing. You know, we talked about the character issue. It's got to be tough for Carson Wentz right now. He was the golden boy in Philly for a short time. High draft pick. The young guy comes in. But this is something we've seen in the NFL. This is Robert Griffin. Top pick for the WFT. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins starts getting some time, starts getting a little bit of momentum behind him. The fans
Is there something about that number 2 pick?
I don't know what it is.
Ryan Leaf.
Robert Griffin. Get out of that pick. Or go defense.
Or go defense.
Something
ain't right
don't
about that number 2
Don't
pick when the first pick is the quarterback.
Yeah, don't do it.
It seems like it's not working, folks.
You know, I found it really interesting how this has evolved in Philadelphia, where Philadelphia 2 years ago was a team that looked like, hey, they can win more Super Bowls. Their window is open. And
closed.
now,
that jump
they thought it might have closed. Well, it might not have closed. You never know. This could be the ABC After School special. Jalen Hurts gets pushed out of his program at Alabama.
Never know.
Goes to Oklahoma and plays great.
Never.
Top 5 in the Heisman. Gets himself drafted to a place where people figured, he'll be a backup for his career. And here he is midway, towards the end of his rookie season, and he's calling the signals, babe.
Yes, he did. Hey, you got to give it to Hurts, man. And,
that's amazing.
And you Eagles, hey, folks, y'all can be back next year. But this year's over.
This year's over.
It's over for y'all this year. Cut it up.
This year's over for them. This year's over for Dallas. This is a time for the NFC East teams that are not going to be making the playoffs. Start evaluating.
It's the G-Man and the Washington football team.
Get your player personnel people together and start figuring out who can play. Who can play, who can help me win. Who can I win with? And Tony, you're a former player. There's certain dudes that man, Dave, this guy got all the talent, but I can't go to war with this dude because he ain't no dog.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You've got to find dogs. That's what you got to find.
Like Dion put out on his thing at Jackson State. We need dogs. And I am telling you right now, the only dogs I see is the Giants defense and the Redskins, the Washington football team defense. They got dogs.
They got some dogs.
They got dogs.
Now, I don't know.
The rest of these divisions, nobody else in that division got dogs.
The defense that I see with the WFT, the more I watched them on this Sunday, you had said, Tony, you had called it, hey, Dave, these guys remind me of those 90s Dallas defenses.
Yeah.
It's starting to come to fruition, especially in that front seven. Chase Young is looking like the generational talent that everyone thought he was going to be. I figured early in his career he would have trouble with some of the better outside edge defenders, but as he gets bigger and stronger, because he's going to. The scary thing about it was on that fumble recovery, that ball wasn't on the ground very long, and he was gone. He had snatched it right up, and he was gone. As soon as he picked it up, I said, "Oh, he gone."
That boy good.
That boy good. He sure is. He sure is. Folks, thanks for joining us on the TD Report. Once again, I'm David Combs.
I'm Tony Kennedy.
We love talking sports with you guys. We're going to be talking maybe some cigars later. We're waiting for Logan Thomas of the Washington football team to call in. We've got some topics that we want to talk with him. But for those of you who are watching us, if you want to shoot us a text on our live, go ahead. If we see it, we'll try to get the question on. Let's keep the questions respectable, please. I know some of y'all out there. So
We got
boss
on so
man,
far.
boss man Robinson, don't be calling talking bad about Logan Thomas because you mad because he a WFT and your G-men are sucking air right now.
The G-men.
Honestly, I was disappointed in the Giants.
I was
I was very disappointed.
disappointed.
I was expecting a very good game there.
Terrible.
They were terrible.
Terrible. Danny Dimes, he Danny Nichols.
Well, Danny Dimes didn't play.
Terrible.
That's Colt McCoy.
No, Danny Dimes did play.
He played?
Yeah, he played.
They should have left Colt in there.
They should have left Colt in
They
there.
should have left
Danny's
Colt
terrible.
in. At that point, you see, the funny thing is about this quarterback roulette that they play, the quarterback hokey pokey. You put the good quarterback in, you take the bad quarterback out. Sometimes these coaches don't know which one is good or bad.
Danny Dimes is Danny Nichols. Terrible.
You know what the prevailing thought in a lot of situations is, okay, I've seen something in my backup that I put in and he's hot, he's on fire, I'm going to leave him in there until he blows up and he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I dealt with this with my own son playing baseball. My son is a center fielder. I came to a game one day, he was behind the plate catching. I said, what? The coach said he's the only one that can catch the damn ball, Dave. So we left him back there. And he stayed there for 3 seasons. Go figure. So I say this. If you've got a quarterback that's playing well and he's not your number one guy, get your number one guy, get his head right, but keep that backup in there until he messes up. Because I thought Colt McCoy, they were one of the hotter teams in the NFL right then. And then you're going to put Danny Dimes in, and then they revert back to what they were. So that's a Joe Judge thing. Hopefully he stays around long enough to where he doesn't make that mistake again. Because in the NFL, what did Jerry Glanville say about the NFL?
Not for long. Not
for long. That's what it means. So you don't get to make the same mistake 3, 4, 5, and 6 times. Okay. So another thing about the Cowboys. Looking at the Cowboys right now, they are 4-9. Where do they sit in the draft? Top 4 pick?
How many wins they got?
4.
That's where they sit in the draft.
They sit in the draft 4.
4 wins, get you the number 4 pick.
Let's see. What is Jerry going to do here? Because Jerry likes to gamble.
Can we trade Jerry?
You're going to trade Jerry?
The GM side.
You want to trade Jerry?
Get us a real GM. Hey, Ozzy, if you're listening, fly to Dallas, to DFW, and go see if you can do it, baby. Fly to DFW and go get that right, Ozzy. That's what we need.
So, where's your boy, man?
Oh, Lo?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's get him on here.
Let's get him.
It's 7:30.
Let's get that.
Logan Thomas, you're late, baby.
No, he ain't late. It's on me. Hey, I got to
get him on the line, man.
I got to give him.
Get him on the hotline.
I got to give Logan. I got to give him the call. Yeah, I got to give him the call, man.
You got to give him the call. Let me give Logan a call right now.
Let me get Logan online and mess with him a little bit.
We're not going to have him on too long because we do want to get to the WFT, and we're going to lead you into the Ravens game coming up. Big game on Monday night coming up in about half an hour. Ravens in another elimination game playing against the red-hot Browns.
Ravens and the Browns. That's going to be
an old school matchup. That's the.
Let me get my man. Come on, Lo. Hey, Lo.
Logan Thomas, what's up?
Not much. How we doing?
We doing great. This is Dave and Tony from the TD Report, man. Thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah, anytime. Appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, man, did we catch you at a bad time? We're not going to keep you too long, brother.
You got a family.
You're good. I mean, anytime I can celebrate a big win, I'm good.
Oh, well, you celebrating 2 big wins, brother. Your Hokies took care of business in Charlottesville, beating up my Cavaliers, man, in Blacksburg, excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's expected to happen.
You're undefeated. You're undefeated against Virginia at your time at Virginia Tech, right?
Yes, I am.
I think everybody was. I think it was 15 straight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was only about 7, 8 classes that went through.
Oh, it was terrible. It was embarrassing. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the pride of Brookville High School, Hokie High, Tech VPI on the TD Report, Mr. Logan Thomas of the WFT, the tight end, and Emergency quarterback. Hey, Logan, I know you have an agent, but you want me to talk to the WFT, get you a little extra money for being the emergency?
It's all good. It just comes with the job.
I think you deserve a little extra, man, because you've been really doing the job this year. We really are real excited to have you in town. I know all the Hokies up here in Northern Virginia, D.C., and nearby Maryland that aren't Ravens fans are really glad to see you here on the squad.
Well, I appreciate that. It's been a joy to be here. I've loved every second of it. It's always nice coming back home and being able to play for the team that grew up watching me.
Excellent. You're used to winning at Virginia Tech. What's it like to have a pro team? You're on the team. You're an integral part of it, and it's a 4-game win streak. How do you feel about that?
It feels good. It always feels good to contribute, but especially when you're on a team that's winning. But most importantly, I'm on a team that cares a whole bunch.
Okay.
And that's what's fun. And when you can go to work and you have guys that you're excited to go to work with, and play for one another, that's what makes playing this game so special.
It's your first year with the team. It's also Coach Rivera's first year with the franchise as well. Tell me a little bit about the relationship that you two have. Both of you guys are new in town, but just give us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Coach Ron, he's not a guy of a whole bunch of words, but when he says something it's very meaningful. And then me and him got a good relationship. We have our regular banter on a daily basis, and he checks in on me, I check in on him, and we just got a good feel for each other. I think he knows the type of player I am and how much I care, and then obviously vice versa. I know the type of coach he is and how much he cares.
One of the recurring themes this year, obviously, this has been a season like no other with COVID and COVID restrictions and travel and changes to logistics. Has it been more difficult this year to get your rest, get your game planning in and your preparation compared to other seasons? And how have you been able to negotiate that?
Okay, so I'll say game planning has been a whole lot more difficult because you're not allowed to be in the building, you're not allowed to sit in a team meeting or a group meeting and watch the film as a group. So everything you do is on your own. But rest-wise, it's a whole lot better for you rest-wise because you can't be in the building. You have to be at home pretty much. And every meeting's at home. Every meeting's on Zoom now. And you only go to the building for 2.5 hours, and that's just to practice.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to have you again, like I said, but it's really important too, like we had talked about with the, the whole Virginia Tech, Virginia game. We had Sean Moore, former quarterback for the Wahoos, that was on here. He was hyping it up a little bit, and we're going to have him back on here. We would love to get you both on the show at the same time, but that's what we were trying to do the other night. But we definitely got to get Sean back on here, for his rebuttal, and he's got to give you guys your props for taking yet another Commonwealth Cup way back to Blacksburg. It was in Charlottesville for 368 days or something like that, and it just ended up right back where it started.
Hey, Logan.
It's back home now.
Well, I tell you what, Logan, you can next time we beat you guys in football, your Commonwealth Cup can come visit the University of Virginia's national championship trophy in a revenue sport for basketball. How about that?
Yeah. Well, that's not what we're talking about. We're not.
I know.
See, you see how they try to change on us, Logan?
I love this guy. I love this guy. Logan, you played quarterback in high school. You played a little tight end in college, but then, were switched over to quarterback by necessity, and you were quite good at it. As a pro, playing a lot of tight end, what advantages does that give you playing tight end and quarterback from high school and in college?
It's just seeing the overall game. Playing quarterback has given me a good football IQ, knowing things to look for, understanding defenses, understanding what defenses try to do. So from that regard, it's helped me in that way. So sometimes in my blocks, if I see that they're going to be slanting because the safety's down or the safety's over the top of the corner and the corner's about to come and I have to block the DN and the DN's going to slant because of it, stuff like that, that's where it's helped me. It's helped me be able to find places where I can sit in a zone because I know that's where it should be voided. And so it's the little stuff like that a lot of people wouldn't know unless they've really been in the sport and understand the sport.
Do they give, it looks like they're pushing you down the field a little more. You don't just run option routes or quick drops. It just looks like you're just getting a lot more involved in the offense kind of down the field and going vertical.
Yeah, this offense is kind of one of those offenses that is predicated on pushing the ball. With all the motioning we do with the running backs and the receivers, and then it's trying to get the linebackers' eyes to get messed up, and then you slip somebody behind the linebackers, and that's how you get big plays. And that's the joy of this offense, is that it's so multiple. We can do so many things with it, and it's not just one guy that can go out there and make the big plays. Obviously, Terry's having a great year, but you've seen a whole bunch of other the role players really making plays too.
Hey, Logan, can I ask you a quick question? Why did you wait to have your best games against my Cowboys? Why did you do that, man? Why you try to hurt me like that?
Hey, man, that's just how the game plan came about. But you know what? If it's anything that I've grown up, it's anybody but Dallas. And I'm happy that I had the games against Dallas that I did. Help us secure a dub.
Hey, Logan, that was a heck of a throw on that trick play. That was a beautiful throw. They never saw it coming.
Hey,
Terry made a big play for me.
Yes, he did.
yeah, he did. He made a great play for you.
That's what he do.
That's what he does.
Just talking about coming up in the season. Next game for you guys, big matchup with the Seattle Seahawks. What do you see there from a defensive standpoint from you? Is there anything that you can give us on X and O's that Seattle does that makes them a good defense? I'm not going to ask you to give away any tricks.
No.
I'm just talking about what do they do that makes them hard to score on, hard to get your yards?
Yeah, I mean they got two big time studs in Bobby Wagner and then Jamal Adams. I mean those are two All-Pro guys. So
Yeah.
off the bat, those are the two guys you got to worry about. I just saw the stat today that Jamal Adams has broke the record for most sacks by a DB.
Yeah, he did. How about that?
That means he's playing down by the line. That means he's blitzing. That means he's creating chaos in the backfield. So, I mean, that alone, tackles for loss and sacks is how you get offenses off the field quick and get the ball back to your offense. And so, you just got to be alert for the things that they do in that regard. Because if you catch them and you pick up the blitz, that's how you gash it. And if you can push the ball down the field behind it. And they've given up some big plays this year because of that. And but in the last couple of weeks, they've been playing a lot better on defense. So this is going to be a dogfight.
This is an important game for the WFT. Real big game, playoff atmosphere.
We've been playing in the playoffs for the last 4 weeks. Granted, it hasn't been playoff time, but we've had no choice. We've had to win, or we basically go home. And
Okay.
We've been trying to do our job to keep moving forward because every game. You look at our schedule the rest of the way now. Every game's gonna feel like a playoff game.
Logan, you made probably the biggest catch of the year. That touchdown against the Steelers.
That was a great catch.
Can you take us back to that play and what they were doing?
You was breaking hearts, man.
Man, so the play before, we essentially ran the exact same play, but on the other side of the field. And we had two guys run open. So the wheel that I called, the guy who ran the wheel the play before was wide open, and I think Scott saw it and said, "I'm coming right back to it, just out of a different formation." Called it, and they did the exact same thing. They dropped me wide open in the flat wheel, and obviously it was huge for us. And then our defense went out there and made a stop, got a turnover, and we came down and got the field goal, and essentially clinched it from that point. And
I'll get him out.
It was at that moment, like after the catch, and then after we got the ball back and made the field goal, I was like, man, this team's got something to it. Like we were down 14, and we were resilient enough to fight all the way back against a really good football team, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Excellent, Logan. We're gonna get you out on this. Anything you want to shout out to your Hokie faithful? Anybody back at Brookville High School? Give your shout out now, my man. Appreciate you being on the show.
Man, I'll shout out all my people from Brookville, all my family members that have come through, all my best friends, the Mutts. They know who they are. And then back at Virginia Tech, man, some of my best friends in the world are from there. There's a bunch of Virginia Tech fans up here in Northern Virginia. I got respect and love for all of them. And, I appreciate everybody keeping up with me over the years, cheering for me over the years, and always being in my corner. It's been a bumpy, tumultuous ride, but we've gotten to a point now where I've always pictured myself being able to get to. And I'm just thankful for everybody who stuck with me through the years.
Hey, Logan, thanks for coming on the show. You are a consummate pro. Appreciate you, bro. Much success the rest of the season. I'm definitely rooting for you. And by the way, I'm going to pick you up on my fantasy team on the clock.
Hey, thanks, thank you, Logan. Thank you, brother.
You the man, baby.
You know how we roll with the Hokies, baby.
Absolutely. The Hokies got to get it done, from years on out. That 1 year, but I'm having, I just didn't like it. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel right.
All right, man. Good luck this Sunday, brother.
Yeah, go get him, kid.
Appreciate it. Y'all take care of yourself.
Appreciate you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, bro.
Logan Thomas, boys and girls, here on the TD Report. Logan, sounded like a coach on that one, man. Break it down to X's and O's.
Did he not?
Young man knows his football. I like that. But let's get into that. He alluded to the Seattle game. With the WFT's next opponent coming up, big game. WFT are now at 6-7 in first place in the NFC least, and looking good. Riding a 4-game win streak. They're going to be playing against Seattle Seahawks team that is basically the Russell Wilson show on offense. And I looked at some numbers. 43 dropbacks against the Giants for Seattle in a loss. Seattle went up 5-0. A field goal and a safety, and then gave up 17 straight points. So we're still on, but we just don't have video. So we just keep the show going. Just keep it going, baby.
Okay.
So 43 dropbacks against the Giants, and they gave up 5 sacks. So Tony, riddle me this. 43 dropbacks against the WFT. How many sacks do you think the WFT is going to get? I don't think that's a recipe for
That's
victory.
about 9 sacks.
That's about 9 sacks. At
that's
least
about 9
5,
sacks.
6 sacks. I would say this. I want to see more work from Seattle running that football. And I'm talking about them from a greater standpoint of being able to move on in the playoffs or even get there. If they're not careful, they're so one-dimensional with Russell Wilson that if they don't do something, they're going to be too easy to defend.
Yeah. Look, I think the key to it is the running game. And the key to anything with beating the WFT is that running game. If you got to get back and pass that ball all day, you in trouble. Listen, that defensive line ain't having it.
Okay.
For the WFT. That's what's going to keep them in every game, especially in the weak NFC.
Okay.
If they get in, it's going to be some problems. And you know me, I'm a Cowboy fan.
Yes, sir.
And so
You are.
I'm going to go. But, I'm on the show. I'm going to give you the real. If y'all get in with that defensive line, y'all can be a problem.
With the WFT front seven, that young front seven, all those number 1 draft picks, lots of talent, they're really starting to come into their own. They're starting to lay their ears back, and they're coming after the quarterback. They are stopping the run. They're handling offenses quite well. At this point, the more confidence they get, the tougher they are to deal with.
Well, look, it's just that time of year. This is winning time.
Okay.
This is winning time right now. I mean, I've been arguing about Haskins all day with everybody.
Lord.
Steve Smith.
Lord.
Carlos Winston. All y'all Haskins haters. The guy can come in down. He can do the same thing, check down Charlie. That's what Alex Smith is doing. Give Haskins a shot. Give him a shot.
Haskins had an interception that was called back. I believe there was a penalty on the play.
So it wasn't an interception.
It wasn't an interception. So I was watching on social media. WFT melted down on that.
Listen.
Thankfully, it wasn't an INT.
Listen.
But the WFT fan base at this point, it's very fragile for
They've
Haskins.
been fragile for 30 years.
I was remarking to our own Cody Bennett for the Bennett Breakdown. I was remarking to him that the WFT fan base, the way that the WFT people relate to each other is through quarterback controversies. Heath Schuler, Gus Farrat, Doug Williams, Jay Schrader.
Oh,
I mean, we could go down the list.
It goes-
Billy Kilmer,
it goes on
Billy
and
Kilmer, and Sonny Jurgensen.
It goes
Now we
on
have
and on.
Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins in that ongoing saga. It almost feels like coming in as a young quarterback, you don't want to be the highly drafted one. Oh, RG3 and Kirk Cousins. You want to be the second guy. You don't want to be the number 1 guy. Now, the thing is, I think what Haskins can learn from this whole situation, Alex Smith used to be that number one guy. He was a former number one pick.
That goes all the way back to Billy Kilmer and Sonny Jurgens.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And then
you want to be the second guy. If you come into DC, if you're the quarterback, you don't want to be the number one draft pick. Unless you're Sammy Ball. You don't want to be the number one draft pick. You want to be that underdog, that third, fourth round, fifth pick guy, because the town seems to get behind that guy.
All right, let me say this. You WFT people, y'all make me sick right now. Y'all need to stop all this stuff. Y'all need to stop all this stuff that y'all been talking. The bottom line is winning. Haskins came in the game yesterday.
He managed the game.
That's all you asked. See, the beginning of the year, you was asking him to win. Now the brother had to learn how to come in and manage the game. He can do the check down Charlie like Alex Smith. Y'all acting like Alex Smith is doing something amazing.
If anything, what Alex Smith is doing is he's taking what's been given. And that is most of what quarterbacking is. In the NFL, more games are lost than won, right? So I would look at it from a standpoint of I'd like to see Haskins be able to step into his throws a little more and finish those plays. I think, if anything, he's playing too much on his back foot. And that tells me there's a confidence issue there, and that comes in from the coaching staff, is give this guy the confidence.
He hasn't played since October 11th.
He hasn't played since October. He was excited to get back on the field. He was happy to be back on the field and quite moved. And he should. He
hasn't played in a long time. So, that thing happened, home team. Listen, y'all going to be all right. Logan, you listening? You get ready in the hole, baby, because you might have to come in and throw that rock like you used to do down there with my Hokies. And then you can show them how it really works.
Now, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to get into the other big story in that game, Chase Young. We got to talk about this. Chase Young's line in the stat sheet went like this: 6 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, a touchdown, and 2 passes defensed. Again, I said it at the top of the show. He had a great month yesterday. That's a month. That's a month's worth of defense. Montez Sweat, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Cameron Curl, 7 tackles, 2 passes defensed, 1 interception, and the touchdown run back. I mean, that's just 3 guys right there that are filling up that defensive stat sheet with not just positive plays. These are explosive plays. These are game-winning plays. These are, wow, the play that we just ran, let's not run that again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's and one of those passes defense, Tony, was a play that most defensive players can't stop. He stopped a shovel pass. When's the last time you've seen a shovel pass blocked defense? That shows deep penetration into the line and the hand-eye coordination to get your hand on the football.
Hey, listen, like I said, I've done enough giving them credit. My boys, I'm a Cowboy fan, so we can cut it right now. Happy for y'all. Hope y'all win and get in that playoff. Hope y'all get in the playoffs.
They're 6-7, Tony. They're looking good.
But I want Haskins quarterbacking.
Because
I want to see Haskins, the local DMV kid, do it. I want to see what he's made of. Hey, if he doesn't do anything here and get y'all in the playoffs, then y'all can cut ties. But I got confidence in him. If y'all let that boy cut it loose, throw it to Logan, throw it to all the mix that you got, McLaurin and McKissick, and all the rest of the Irish kids you got on the team. That's my man.
I enjoyed watching that defense, that young WFT defense, do its thing. Just those guys are really starting to come into their own, and I think it's great. And look, credit to Jack Del Rio, credit to Ron Rivera, the head coach, allowing the culture to take over. I don't like to use the word a lot, but the culture seems to be working, and you can hear it from a young guy that's just coming in first year, starting fresh in Logan Thomas, as far as he understands as a professional, I have a job to do. I come in to work, I get my job done, and I go home. So, that mentality is really starting to rub off. Yeah. And the young guys are just out there just making plays. They're just playing free. You can't play thinking about Or what if I make a mistake? They're just playing football.
But Dave,
What's up?
tonight, we got a heavyweight fight.
Got a heavyweight fight tonight.
There's a heavyweight fight tonight.
This is a grub. This is basically, this is a tale of two cities. Now, we all understand that Cleveland...
Best of times is the worst of times.
It's the best of times and the worst of times. Wait a minute. Tony's a hokey. He ain't supposed to be quoting no literature out here.
Come on, man.
That's my job. That's my job, Tony.
Hey, we all
I'll tell you what. You all got your answer. We're gonna switch it. We're gonna switch it. Tony is gonna quote the Shakespeare, and I'm gonna blow up on people. That's how we gonna change the show.
We all got the education out that joint.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, I hit it with the best of times. It was the worst of times. Y'all know what that is.
The animosity between the cities of Baltimore and Cleveland was kicked off by Art Modell.
Y'all stole their team.
Well, Indianapolis stole the Colts. That's a whole different thing. I'm talking about the Browns coming here to Baltimore.
Y'all stole their team.
Baltimore did not steal their team.
They stole.
They did not steal their team.
They stole them.
Cleveland had the opportunity to build a new stadium for Modell's Browns, and they wouldn't pass the legislation to do it. They wanted to make Modell pay for it, and Modell had millions and millions in debt. Mm-hmm. To get the deal to come to Baltimore, Baltimore agreed to cover Art Modell's debts to come here to the Ravens.
So we pay for it in the state of Maryland.
Essentially.
All of us.
That's
taxpayers.
That's what it was.
That's taxpayers' dollars.
That's what happened. So now, that animosity is now starting to build as those Ravens, the former Browns, came here under Modell's leadership and then moved into a championship franchise, which left an extremely bitter taste in Cleveland's mouth. Now we have a situation here tonight where the Baltimore Ravens are fighting for their playoff lives.
Mm-hmm.
And not only fighting for their playoff lives, they're going to have to play against a surging 9-3 Browns team full of confidence. Baker Mayfield is hitting on all cylinders.
Hey, this is
going to be a great game.
This is great.
I expect to see, and by the way, Baker Mayfield is known to start up stuff on the field. He likes to talk trash. He likes to grab himself.
Hey, folks, don't listen, Dick. Baker Mayfield, he don't want them problems in his life. He better be quiet and he better do what he do and play ball. But he don't want to see East Baltimore out there tonight. You better stop that. You better
without his helmet on, Baker Mayfield looks like that kid in school that you used to beat up.
You better stop. Baker don't want them problems. Hey, Rome. Baker don't want them problems in his life, baby.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a Baker Mayfield critic, but I'll be honest with you. The dude is balling this year. He is balling, okay? I got to give the man his credit. I did not think that Baker Mayfield had and the ego of, Odell Beckham Jr. could even coexist.
Yeah.
They both got big egos, but I think what I'm seeing something similar to where the two of those guys are going in the same direction. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're both there. They both want to win, okay? Mm-hmm. And when you get two highly motivated guys, highly competitive guys, so maybe talk a little mess and, a little flashy, I think it'll work. It seems like it's working right now for them.
I think it'll work.
What do the Ravens have to do tonight to win this game?
Run that ball.
You want to impose your will.
They got to run that ball.
Against a nice, strong, young front seven.
They got to run that ball and keep that ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands.
Guys have really got to get off blocks and get up to that second level. If the Ravens don't get that second level blocked, that's it. They're not going to get the chunk yardage they need. The Ravens,
a little bit. Listen, a little bit in 13 personnel, one running back, three tight ends.
Yes.
If they can get that, which they haven't been doing that personnel a lot because they lost tight ends. If you see the Ravens in that personnel, they are hard to beat. When you start seeing all these wide receivers on the field, man, game over, man. That's not who they need to get back to who they are. And stop all this listening to everybody else. I got to be pocket. I got to be that. Man, you're the reigning MVP. You're MVP for a reason. Get back to who you are and stop listening to these clowns.
Now,
who you are.
When we had Bill West on from Ravens Roost, he was talking just that. He was saying the exact same thing you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, he's a Ravens insider. He watches that team every week and breaks it down. We've had Cody Bennett on the show for the Bennett Breakdown. He's talked about some of the same stuff. But what we aren't seeing from the Ravens is the explosive plays.
Yeah,
we just aren't seeing that this year. And the thing was with the Ravens last year, what they were able to do is get up on top of teams and get up. We can leave that going. We're good. They would get up on top of teams, and then you had to play from behind. And playing from behind against a team with a quarterback like that, your defense has to take some risks. And when you take risks against Lamar, he can gash you. That was the problem. So now the Ravens have a problem. The Ravens are kind of stuck in a rut, all right? So I'm looking at Lamar Jackson's stats. 33 career starts, 26-7, 58 touchdowns, 16 picks, and 15 rushing TDs.
That's unbelievable stats.
And he's having a quote-unquote, I'm using air quotes, disappointing season.
That's because them fans don't know nothing. Y'all fans are terrible. This dude done had one of the best 33 starts in the history of this league and an MVP, and y'all talking trash. Man, get out of here.
Lamar Jackson is 13-3 in 16 career road starts, 29 touchdowns and 6 picks. He's not he might not be the problem, Tony. He might not be the problem. His stats are legit. The thing is this. I'll tell you this. Let Dwayne Haskins have those stats. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, we would, because you WFT fans, y'all terrible.
Tony, you're killing me. So what do the Browns have to do to win this game tonight?
Stop the Ravens from running.
Okay.
And they got to run the ball because they got 2 running backs who can get 1,000 yards.
They've got some running backs.
Yeah, they got some running backs.
They got some running backs.
See, everybody talk about Baker Mayfield. Folks, normally the quarterback isn't that good unless he got a good running game.
He is one of the best rollout quarterbacks in the league. Baker Mayfield is. So what they do is they set up in a 13 set and show hard to the right, put the ball in the run back's gut and pull it out, and then roll back out to the left. That's how they do it. So what they're doing is they're using Baker's. The Baker's strength is he's got to have a clean pocket. He's not the tallest quarterback in the world. So if you can get a push up the middle and get it into his lap, either out of the spread or in a 7-step drop, he's much less effective than he is getting out on the edge. And when he does that, your linebackers have got to follow that run. They've got to read. They're all reading run, and you can see on the tape where the guys will shift and they'll be looking run, and you will see their heads literally turn the other way because they realize the running back doesn't have the football. So I would say for the Browns tonight, what they need to do is just be themselves. Don't beat yourself. What they've been doing to teams the last 5 or 6 weeks, it's been working.
They
don't stop.
Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, they got up in them.
Tennessee, you fake. You fake Tennessee because you lost to Pittsburgh and you lost to Cleveland. You fake.
Tennessee's not fake.
They fake.
Tennessee's not fake. They're one-dimensional. There's a difference. They're not fake.
That means that you fake because you stop that run.
Come on, Tony.
Their quarterback can't beat you.
Well, Tannehill has had that resurrection of his career. Tannehill got himself out of Miami, where, my gosh, poor, Brent Grimes' wife was just, a teammate's wife was ripping him up in the media, just ripping him apart. And he got out to Tennessee, got him the big contract, and, had a great season last year. And they're having a good season this year. I don't know if he is the guy to get them to a Super Bowl, but with that defense, I don't know if Mike Vrabel has another trick up his sleeve or another scheme, but you can't just live on King Henry alone. And, the guy's doing everything he can do. He's doing, Tony, he's doing everything. Henry is doing everything but driving the bus to the stadium, loading it up. He's doing everything.
I can't mess with them.
You can't mess with the Titans.
No.
Let's talk about the playoff picture then. Who do you like in the AFC, your top 3 teams? Do you still have Kansas City as the unquestioned top seed?
Kansas City, Buffalo
moving up over Pittsburgh. Okay. I don't have.
And my Ravens.
Oh no, Tony! You just trying to get people to call the show. Hey, you gonna make is Mr. Tomlin on here?
Tommy, stop all that stuff, Tommy.
Hey, Tom.
time you talking about the quarterback is solid?
Tom, thanks for calling. Thanks for getting on the show.
He's a Jesse.
Tom, thank you. I like Tom Johnson getting on the show, everybody. Also, think about this, Tony. In the AFC, just an interesting AFC picture. There's some really strong teams at the top. Teams with 10, 11 wins already.
Paper champs.
Huh?
Paper champion.
Paper champion. I don't know who in the NFC is going to stop a Kansas City Chiefs team in a Super Bowl. Who can stop them? NFC team. You can pick any team you want.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
All right. Let's talk about this then. Let's go to the easier question. Who are your top 3 NFC teams right now for the playoffs? Your top 3 seeds.
Top 3 seeds.
Who are the best? Who are your best 3 teams? Forget the seeding or the records. Who are the best 3 teams in NFC for you?
The best 3 in the NFC. Let me give them to you.
Write it down, everybody.
Write them down. The best 3 in the NFC.
Start from the bottom. Number 3. Who's your third team?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Lying in the weeds. Nobody's talking about them. They got a Super Bowl quarterback. They got a championship QB. And that's like having a hot goaltender. That's like having a hot goaltender in hockey. I got the quarterback? Okay. Let's go.
Number 2?
Number 2.
Well, when the Saints come marching in.
Oh, the New Orleans Saints. Honestly, Saints have a good defense. I like the defense. I think if they get Drew Brees back, I think they're going to be all right.
Number 1?
Number 1. Who you got, Tony?
The Washington football team.
Oh, my God. Oh, he did it. The WFT. God, the WFT. I'll tell you what, Tony. WFT, if they win the division, will get 1 home game. All right? And I hate to say it, if they don't lose that home game, they could roll through a couple more. Similar to what the Titans did last year.
Then they're
because
going
of
to
that
go.
defense.
Then they're going to go down to New Orleans.
Wow.
And they're going to wreck shop.
Wow.
And then they're going to have to go to the most historic place on earth
They gotta go
in
to
Lambeau.
They gotta go to
And it's an
Lambeau.
old school game. And it's going to be Chase versus Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
And they're
Rodgers.
going to get him.
Aaron Rodgers can't outrun Chase.
And then we're going to get the all Native American Super Bowl. Redskins versus Chiefs.
Wow. Okay. All right. That would be interesting. Tony?
In Tampa. Then the Chiefs got to change their name.
Tony, I saw something today when I was out. Made me think of you and how you're such a big football aficionado. I saw a vintage electric football game.
Oh, I posted that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know you have one. That's why I saw it.
Yeah.
And I talked to the guy that had it. All his players are hand painted and everything. He's got every team in the league, Tony. All of them.
Hey, I'm not going to mention no Rams.
The Rams?
Jared Goff is a Jesse.
The Rams?
The Rams. Jared Goff coughed me in the Super Bowl.
The Rams?
3 points.
No, I can't rock with the Rams.
I ain't rocking no Rams.
I can't rock with them. And honestly, beating up on the New England Patriots, I don't give them props for that. I mean,
Al, you know you need to stop, Al.
What is Al talking
Al,
about?
he a great trainer. He train all the people.
Hey, Al, thanks for getting on the show,
But
man.
you know daggone well, I ain't messing with no Rams. I'm gonna rock with the Washington football team, even though it's gonna hurt me.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt me.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt me. But I can take the hurt.
Tony,
The defense is nasty.
everybody, we've seen a transformation today. I feel a lot of love in the room. Can you feel the love tonight? Tony has now decided that he is a WFT fan.
I'm no WFT fan.
I just heard you say
I
it.
brought out the joint from 1976.
I just heard
the Batgirl, baby. Look at that.
Wait a minute.
Look at that Batgirl.
I just heard you say it, Tony. You said you're a WFT fan.
I'm not a fan.
I'm gonna go get you some jerseys.
No, we got jerseys.
No, but you
I
gotta
don't
wear it.
wear 'em.
'Cause you gotta wear them.
No, sir. But guess what? Y'all need to play Haskins. Stop all this garbage. Nobody want no Smith. Smith ain't doing nothing but check down Charlie. That's all he do. Check down. I need somebody who can put the ball down the field
He's a comeback
and
player.
go get Haskins.
He's a comeback player of the year, Tony.
Yeah, well, that's all right, but he coming back by checking it down. Check down Charlie.
Alex Smith.
That's all he did. We checking down.
Alex Smith has been pushed aside as a quarterback in so many different spots, okay, for another guy, right? And most recently, obviously, in Kansas City when he was essentially pushed aside for Mahomes' magic. So coming here, he's got to look at the Washington franchise as this is my chance to really make it and lead a franchise to a Super Bowl. Maybe this is his year. I've seen this happen in sports all the time, and so have you. Maybe it's the WFT's year. The year the Nationals won the World Series, it was their year. Everything happened that they needed to have happen. It could happen for the WFT.
Hey, it could happen. It can happen.
Now, what would that mean for the city that has been called the city of losers? Because then we would have a World Series, WNBA, NHL, Major League Baseball.
There you go.
And then NFL, and then we would have the Wizards.
The Wizards.
Oh dear.
Hey, Russell Westbrook, we're gonna get you on here, buddy.
I want Russell. Listen, honest to God, if anyone knows my boy Brody, I want Westbrook on the show. I've got some love for the guy. I think he's a great player, and I'd love to see him in DC because you know what I like about Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is what happens when you put Allen Iverson's heart in a 6'4", 200-pound body. Okay, the guy goes hard. He does not. He is a dog.
He's
as
a dog.
If he was a football player, he might kill somebody.
He might kill somebody.
That's what I've said. You know, it's interesting. You know, when I see guys that play hard, and it doesn't matter what sport it is. When I see Juan Soto for the Nats, when I see how hard he works at the plate to hone his craft, get his swing right. When you see how hard an Alex Ovechkin works in hockey to keep his body right at his age and still be able to play, he would have scored. He would have scored 50 goals if the season hadn't been shut down like it was. At his age, he's incredible. He won another Rocket Trophy. So when I see these guys that work really, really hard, okay,
at their craft,
yep. It's truly a sight to see, Tony. So I got love for Alex Smith this season. I'm a sucker for the after school special.
It's an after school special, but I need a prime time, so I need that daggone Haskins to play. You need Haskins in there. Cody Bennett, guys, he is going to be on here on Thursday with the Bennett breakdown. He breaks the games down so well.
He's great.
Cody Bennett with the Bennett breakdown. Chester Bennett, man, your son is good, man. You know he's good.
Hey, Chet, how's it going, buddy?
Fellas, listen. We may have Darryl Green on here on Thursday night.
We're trying to get Darryl.
We're going to get Darryl Green. And I got to.
We're talking to.
I got to start cheering for the Washington football team.
We're talking to Darryl and Darryl's people. We want to get him on the show.
Yes, indeed.
And honestly, for a young man like myself, just like Tony, that grew up here in the D.C. area, Darryl Green, man. I mean, you're not going to find a former Walter Payton Player of the Year.
Yep.
One of the great guys in sport, and one of the most amazing athletes.
We got a call.
We got a call. What do we have?
Hey, Al. Hold on.
What up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, Al. What's up?
Man, just good, man. How you guys doing, man?
You enjoying the show?
Yeah, man. I'm enjoying it, man. You two guys are hilarious.
Hey, what you got for us, man?
Man, how you guys gonna say Washington football team and not say the Rams?
I can't rock with the Rams, man. Can't do it.
You gotta rock with the Rams, man.
I can't do it.
If you talking about the three top NFC teams, Green Bay, the Rams, and what's the other one?
The Saints.
And the Saints. But come on. And three things those guys have: running game, quarterbacks. Redskins don't have a quarterback, and their running game ain't strong in the past couple weeks.
Well, their running game is their short passing game. That's how they do it.
Yeah, but again, you need that short passing game. It's not wearing no defense down.
That's true, but it hasn't. But they still won 4 games in a row.
When you talking about teams that are physical in the playoffs, in the playoff time when it's cold out there, man, it's nothing like a running game, and it's nothing like a good quarterback that can move. And then you look at the Rams defensive line, and then you look at their secondary. You know, they got a pretty decent secondary.
Secondary ain't bad.
You look at the Redskins. They don't have the experience in their secondary. You know what I'm saying? The D-line is good, but when they got to go against them scrambling quarterback and them guys can't stay in their lanes, you look at some of the teams that they played with running quarterbacks, they had little issues.
They had issues. Kyler Murray gave them problems, and I agree with you, Al.
And they're going to have issues with Russell Wilson. Same thing And those guys, because another thing also, Nolan, the defensive coordinator, he doesn't know how to spy these quarterbacks.
You mean
Mike Nolan? He's talking about Mike Nolan. Yeah.
Yeah, Nolan, Mike Nolan. If you look at it, he has trouble to create a defense on how to spy guys. So hopefully this week there's something they can work on and put in the game plan. But if you can't have a decent guy,
Jack Del Rio.
No, he's talking about the Rams.
The Rams, man. Hey, Al, you need to stop with the Rams. After they pulled that Jesse the other day, a couple years ago. Come on, man.
Listen. We talking about the NFC East, right?
Yes,
We're
sir.
talking about what it takes to win. You know, the Redskins got a good defensive line, which is fine. Nobody's not saying that. But against a real good game plan, you can work around the defensive line. You know what I'm saying? You can work around the defensive line. But to say the Washington football team, come on, man. Come on now.
Hey, that's my pick. That's my pick. I gotta go with them. I gotta go with the DMV. You train all the DMV. Al is the big trainer of all the DMV people. Man, that's why they doing it, Al, because of people like you, buddy.
But when you gotta talk football, you gotta take the the personal feeling out of it, man. You gotta use the brain more and see how.
I'm sorry, Al. I thought you called a sports show. That's not what we do.
Yeah, Al. Hey, I'm a deep blue. I'm a deep blue with my Cowboys, but they're terrible, so I got to give the WFT their credit.
Wait a minute. He thought he was calling a sports show?
Yeah, see,
man, this is just a couple of guys smoking cigars, man. What you talking about?
Al, I call it philism. I don't care about your feelings.
But you guys still on point though. When it comes to football, so
we try.
Yeah, I say this with much reservation. So
hey, listen. Just do me a favor. We're gonna keep doing that, but tell a friend, won't you? Tell them to hit the like button.
Yeah, tell them to hit the like button.
We're gonna move. We're gonna move this show. We had some technical difficulties today, but we are going to be moving to YouTube Live, and it'll be a lot better, and the production value will be better. But bottom line, the most important thing is that you can hear us and see us, and we appreciate anybody that listens, even the folks that call in and mess with us, like a certain head coach's brother who won't speak to us right now.
Yeah.
Tomlin?
Yeah. He ain't gonna call us. He
gonna cry when he get in the car.
He gonna cry when he get in the car.
He gonna cry when he get in the car.
He ducking us like Citibank Visa right now, baby. You know what I'm saying? He don't live here.
You give those guys a good running back, man. They need a running back. You give them a good running back, man. They'll be back.
Quiet as kept. Quiet as kept. The offensive line's a problem, baby. That's the problem.
It's the problem.
That's the problem. It's the blocking schemes and it's the personnel. And in a lot of situations where you're talking about down in the trenches, it's a dark art. But honestly, it's about fight. If those guys aren't down there, they ain't out there to fight, and they're trying to play a finesse. They're playing a finesse system. It ain't working. They're not pushing nobody off the football. They're not fooling anybody. And honestly, the WFT front seven had their way with the Pittsburgh defensive front all day. All day. That game, honestly, shouldn't have been that close. And I watched the whole thing.
The after school special.
When you build an offensive line, if you look at like the Cowboys line, you build that off of the running game first, because the identity, is what built them. And then you look at a lot of those teams, they have issues with passing, but passing ain't nothing but being technically sound. When you have that,
you're right.
when you have that grit and that 1-2 to block and blow somebody up, man, when it gets cold, man, it's times where that's what you gotta put the pedal to the metal line and go. And it changes everybody. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Al, what I would say is this: for pass blocking in the pro, high school, and college level, the elite level in high school, the most important thing is balance. Balance is probably even more important than strength, because if you can't get a kid who's got the feet to keep his balance with someone coming at him at an angle trying to go around a corner, if you look at these bigger offensive linemen like Jonathan Ogden, or we can go even way back to back when I was in college, someone like a Ray Roberts at UVA. Mm-hmm. Those were what was called the prototypical left tackle, okay? But the key to a guy like Jonathan Ogden, which a lot of people don't know, Jonathan Ogden was a high school All-American and a collegiate All-American in the discus. That's not a strength. It's a strength sport, the discus, but the key is your feet, because you have to do all that spinning in a circle. When you are 6'4" and 290, and you can do a 360-degree dunk, which Jonathan Ogden could do in high school, because I saw him do it at St. Albans. He did it once at St. Albans, and the coach came out of the office and said, "Don't do that again." Because the equipment is not set up for Jonathan Ogden to do that. He said, "Yeah, you can't do that here, bro. Go somewhere else." So I agree with you. I think, in your profession, you understand the importance of balance, balancing your muscles, balancing your stances in order to do the exercises properly. So we appreciate you for doing what you do. Al, do me a favor.
Off, buddy.
We're getting ready to kick off, but let me do this. Al, shout your business out, baby. Tell people where they can reach you.
They can reach me at API, man. They can look at API Fitness on Instagram. We're looking to put in a new gym.
Excellent.
So, and our philosophy and our training is built on building explosive athletes, man. It's smart training. We work on, physical therapy and, working a lot of weaknesses, but it's all about being explosive, man. It's building explosive athletes, man. Smart and guys that want it, man. At the end of the day, they got to want it.
I appreciate that.
That's the secret.
All right.
Shout out to my man, Tony Kennedy, man.
What's up?
Appreciate you, Al.
Man. No problem, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for getting on with us.
right,
Al jumping on the show. Al at API. Look them up on Instagram. API on IG. So look, everybody, we're going to close this down real quick. We are going to get off because the Ravens game has kicked off. Baker Mayfield just got hit in the backfield and threw an incompletion. They are just now doing the introductions of the offense right now. Ravens are on defense. Ravens at 7-5 are playing against the Browns at 9-3, and looks like it's going to be fun. Tony is going to have a beer. I'm going to have a cigar with him. We're going to talk more football off air. Everybody, thank you for joining us.
Thursday night.
We're going to try to have Darryl Green, but we're going to have the Bennett breakdown and a special guest, my friend from St. John's College High School. For my money, the best high school baseball player ever out of the city of Washington, D.C., right from out here in Anne Arundel County, our man Kevin Gibbs.
Y'all going to be stuck in the snow, so y'all come back. It's going to have a special hour-and-a-half show for that because we don't care about the Raiders and the Chargers that night. So y'all come back and listen to Mr. Darryl Green come on here and kick it with us. The Hall of Famer, the guy that ran down Tony Dorsett, broke my heart on Labor Day night, 1983. Put him on the map. You Washington Redskin fan. Y'all know how we won the game 31-30, baby.
And listen, if you have a son or daughter that's being recruited in a sport, any sport, definitely listen in for when we have Kevin Gibbs on, because Kevin Gibbs is going to talk about certain things about how to get recruited, how to keep yourself healthy, how to get yourself right for your sport. He's got some interesting insights. He was a multiple sport athlete at St. John's High School. He was a freshman when I was, I think, a junior or a senior, and he was one of the best athletes in the school. So he is definitely a treat to listen to, and one of the best coaching minds because he gets it from his dad. Ed Gibbs was a hell of a coach too, and Mark Gibbs at St. John's is his brother. Mark Gibbs is just kind of a decent coach, only one of the best high school baseball coaches in the country. So Kevin Gibbs is someone you want to listen to.
Oh, I gotta give a shout out. I gotta give a shout out to Adderley. He playing defense back. I saw him almost break that kickoff return. Tommy, thank you for that. Adderley will be on. We're going to highlight Adderley that night when they play. The Raiders play the Chargers on Thursday night when you stuck at home in the snowstorm.
Yep. And we're going to have the Bennett breakdown. He's going to set up your
fantasy.
Set up them fantasy lineups because it's playoff time.
Cody Bennett playoff.
Hey guys, win your league. Get you a little extra money. It's the pandemic. We need all the cash we can get. So you might as well go on and win your fantasy league anyway. We're going to sign off now. Watch the rest of the game. Please enjoy it. Go Ravens. I'm David Cohen.
Are we
trying to get off?
And listen, guys. Make sure that you tag your friends. Make sure that you do all that stuff to help us out. We on here trying to get this right and do the show right and make sure everything is right. Tony Adderley was our first sponsor. Adderley Dental Office is the best thing out there for you.
Thanks, Tony Adderley.
You know, hey, we're going to take you off for some good music. let you listen to some good 1970 music. Y'all
Appreciate
hear this
y'all.
right here? We love y'all, man.
Appreciate
We
y'all.
love y'all, buddy.
We're gonna be back on Thursday. I'm David Combs.
I'm Tony Kennedy.
That's the TD report.
Hey,
Hey, enjoy the game. Go Ravens.
go Ravens. Go Lamar. See y'all.
Destination